are you worrying? Why are you stressing? Why are you not believing, having faith, trusting, having hope, having dreams, or none of that anymore? Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you not excited anymore? What's happened? What has happened? No, Sean, that kind of good. That kind of good. The first thing that I bought was a can of tuna. Mate, I had no sofas. What was I doing? Everything that I'll be speaking about in my videos, everything that I'll be sharing with you guys is things that I'm working on, worked on, keep working on, have to go back over because I haven't learned from that one. But I just want to share because I know that we can all relate, we can all learn from each other, and your girl likes to talk. Your girl likes to talk. So I want to just hear from people. I want to talk to people. I want us to grow together. And yeah, at one point in time, you prayed to have the life and experiences that you have right now. At one point in time, you possibly wrote these things down, manifested it, visualized it, put the work in to see these things actually happen, and, you know, had faith towards the things that you was hoping and praying for. And there was possibly another time where you were stressing about it, worrying about it, overthinking, complaining to family and friends, lost sleep, change of appetite. And there was possibly a time where you may even have given up having faith on the thing that you was hoping and praying for. Now that you've accomplished a lot of those things, why is it that you're stressing and worrying about the things that are yet to come? So the new goals that you've written down, the new plans that you have, the new things that you want to embark on, why are you worrying about them? Why can you not use the same faith that carried you through to apply it to the new goals and visions that you have? I don't know if anyone can relate, you know, when you wanted your first car and how you felt, the anxiety that you felt, the excitement that you felt. You'd go and view the cars. And I used to take a mechanic with me and he used to be like, no, Sean, that kind of good, that kind of good. And I used to get so upset because, mate, like, don't even check underneath the bonnet. Like, just give me the car. I wanted the car. And to me, that caused me stress. Like, I wanted the car. You know, I knew exactly where I was going to be driving. I knew exactly what songs I was going to be playing. And I knew exactly who was going to be in my car. Like, I visualized it. Like, I knew what I wanted. And I was so excited and all the rest of it. And I couldn't wait for it. But look now, like, so many years have passed on. I've had a number amount of cars since then. But the point is things happen so fast. We're constantly thinking about the next thing. Like, when I'm driving now, I never look at my old car and think, oh my gosh, like, I want that again. Or, you know, we struggle to take a step back in time to remember how much we stressed about that particular thing. So that's just an example, you know, like your first home, a job, like an experience. At one point you stressed and worried and believed to have the things that you have right now. Yeah, so if you was to write a list about all the things that you've ever wanted in the last 5 to 10 years, and to look at the things that you've achieved, you'd be surprised how far you've come, how much you've grown, how much you've developed, how much, you know, you've strived towards that particular thing. But the point is now that you've ticked those things off the list, why are you worrying about the next things that you're about to, like, embark on or work on or strive to achieve? Like, why? Like, you forget. This is what I'm saying. We forget how far we've come. We forget how much God's done for us because we're constantly chasing, constantly striving, and forgetting that all things do work together for good. Like, if you look back at all the times that you thought something wasn't going to happen and you thought, how is this going to work out? How is that going to work out? Oh my gosh, like, in a month's time, how am I going to have that conversation? How am I going to get that job? How am I going to get that house? Like, mate, you're thinking like that because you're forgetting the things. Like, we have evidence of all the things that have worked out, but we struggle to sit still, take a minute, maybe make a note in your journal, make a log in your phone, do some meditation, and really just take a minute to be grateful and remember how far we've come. There's a lot of things that we should be grateful for, and we have a lot of evidence of the things that have worked out for our good, even when it didn't necessarily feel good at the time. Even when it didn't feel good at the time, but I can guarantee you now, if you was to sit here today, get a pen and paper and find some good that you can take from that situation, I promise you will find something. And not do anything without faith. We need to have faith. We need to have faith in God that all things are going to work out for our good. But also we need to have the confidence that he's giving us the gifts, the talents, the abilities, the tools, and all the resources that we need to accomplish everything that we're trying to work towards. So everything that you have around you right now, you have everything that you need. It's just that, are you going to use those things to get you to where you need to be? Yeah, but faith alone will not get you to where you need to get to. You are going to need to apply some action. Like, so if you write that list and you find that actually I haven't achieved as much as I wanted to achieve, or I haven't worked on a few things that require my attention, maybe you could be one of those people that procrastinate. Maybe, like, if deep in your heart you know that you haven't given 100, maybe you're one of those people that procrastinate. And maybe you're one of those people that are looking for a handout and hoping that someone will save you. Well, I'm here to deliver the message. Nobody is going to save you. Nobody's going to save you. You're going to have to put the work in. And that work might just be having faith at this point in time. Like, when you've done all that you can do, that's when you have to stand on faith alone. But when there's a requirement for you to do something and you're not doing it, mate, you're procrastinating. Like, what are you doing? Some people live by the idea, well, everything just works out in God's timing, and what will be, will be. And all of that is true. However, if you're not doing your part, then God's not going to match that, because faith without works is dead. You have to do your part. So stop procrastinating, stop making excuses, stop relying on somebody else to do what you have been called to do. Be confident. Be confident that it's going to work out. I keep saying that everybody has enough evidence to know that it's going to work out. There's plenty of things that you can be grateful for that at one point you didn't know how it was going to go. You didn't know what you was going to do. You didn't know how you was going to pay for that bill. You didn't know how you was going to get over that person. You didn't know how you was going to deal with bereavement. You didn't know how you was going to do this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? So you have evidence. You've overcome it. You no longer worry about the situations that you once used to worry about. But we forget how far we've come. We forget how much we've grown. We forget how much we've worked on ourselves. We forget. But don't forget. This is what I'm here to tell you. Don't forget. Don't forget. Because if you forget and you don't take the time out to really lean into like your own personal experiences, like, you will get discouraged, you will get disheartened, you will lose faith, you will have no inspiration, you will have no motivation, you will feel done out, you will feel tired, and you will just feel like a loss of hope. And you don't want that for yourself. And it's all good, like, looking at other people for inspiration and looking at other people for and looking at their stories and how far they've come, and listening to, you know, their walks of life. But you need to have this confidence for yourself. You need to have your own story. You need to have your own evidence. You need to have your own. We need to know for ourselves, okay? And you've got it for yourself. You've got it. You've got the experience. You've got the evidence that things do work out for the good. Life's constantly about growing, and there'll be ups and downs. You feel like you've mastered something, and then you'll have to go back over it, and then you'll be presented with a new situation and you'll realise, I'm still tripping about that. Okay, I had to just top up my lip gloss because you know, very important that you don't burn yourself out chasing anything. No job, no money, no career or anything like that. It's definitely not worth it, and I've done it. Okay, so it's very important, like, we're constantly chasing, we're constantly striving, we're constantly thinking about the next thing. Like, I'm sitting in this house right now, yeah, thinking about, I want a different house, I want a new house, I want a new one. Guess what? When I lived with my mum, yeah, before I moved out and got my first place, I was happy to have this place. And don't get me wrong, we outgrow things, and, you know, sometimes it's time to move on. But the point is at one point, I really was grateful for the place that I've got right now. I remember the first thing that I bought was a can of tuna. Mate, I had no sofas. What was I doing? I was excited. I couldn't wait. The point is we're constantly chasing. Where was I going with this? Constantly chasing. What was I going to say? Constantly chasing, constantly striving, constantly wanting something else all the time. Like I said, we outgrow things, but are you grateful for what you have right now? And at one point, you probably cried for it. Let's be honest, you probably cried for it. And this is why I'm going to give you some tips on things that you can do to encourage yourself, because we need to know how to encourage ourselves when we are losing hope, we are losing faith, we're not feeling encouraged. We need to know how to do it for ourselves and not lean on other people or depend on other people to do it for us. We need to know for ourselves, okay? So tip number 1, gratitude. If you can spend 10 minutes in the morning to start with, who's that? Spend 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, things that you're grateful for. Could be anything, things from your previous day. It could be your children, it could be your family. You know, start with 10 minutes, and the more you do it, the more it become a habit, and the more you'll be appreciative for the things that you have, which will create more happiness. But just be grateful for the things that you have right now, okay? Because we can't constantly be wanting with no gratitude. We can't be constantly taking with no gratitude. So if we can get into the habit of becoming more grateful, becoming more appreciative, that just sets the tone, and we're showing that we're grateful for the things that we have right now. Tip number 2, get a pen and paper and write a list of all the things that you've ever wanted, dreamed about, hoped about, prayed about, worried about, stressed about, worked towards, strived towards, anything, no matter how small or insignificant that it may seem, okay? So write it all down on a piece of paper and start to tick them off one by one. I'd say the last 5 years. Like, get thinking, write it down, tick it off, write it down, tick it off. And you'll begin to see that actually, you know what, I've come a long way. You know, it could be something as you wanted a new bed. It could be something as you wanted a new house. It could be something as you wanted a particular job. It could be at your health. It could be a family connection that needed restored. It could be anything that means something to you. I can't tell you what that is, but you know what it is that you've been working towards or striving towards or hoping for. So have a go at that and start to cross things off. And you'll see that everything's worked out. Everything that you was once struggling with has worked out. Number 3, be present. Stop worrying. Stop worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow. Stop worrying about what's going to happen next week. Stop worrying about what's going to happen next month or the year after. Be present, because all the time you're spending on worrying about things that are going to take place in the future, right? Yes, I'm talking to you. All those things that you're worrying about, you're missing out on the opportunities of today to be happy, to be peaceful, to experience the things that are happening around you. So it's so important to be present. Easier said than done. Sometimes things work out how we least expect anyway. So stop using your human brain to try and figure it out and, you know, do this formula where if this does this and this happens and this happens and this happens, then this is going to equal this, and then I'm going to get the outcome that I set out to achieve. No, like, detach yourself from the outcome, because sometimes it doesn't go how we expect it to go. Sometimes it goes a completely different way. But again, because a lot of us don't take the time to be still and realize the things that we have achieved and the things that God has worked out, we don't recognize that actually things have worked out in a way that we didn't think that it was going to go in the first place. So the point is, stop worrying, stop stressing, because sometimes we don't know how things are going to work out. And even if we have an idea or inclination as to how it might work out, what's the point stressing or worrying about it to lose the experiences of today? Is there any point? Easier said than done. But guess what? I want to be happy. I don't know about you. I want to be peaceful. I want to enjoy today. I don't want to be worrying about tomorrow or next week or the week after, because you're wasting time. You are going to need to apply some action. So if you write that list and you find that actually I haven't achieved as much as I wanted to achieve, or I haven't worked on a few of those things that require my attention, maybe you could be one of those people that procrastinate. Maybe, like, if deep in your heart you know that you haven't given 100, maybe you're one of those people that procrastinate. Maybe you're one of those people that make excuses. I hope you're not one of those people that have been procrastinating. And if you are, it's never too late to make a change. It's never too late to put some work in. It's never too late to make a difference to some of the things that it is that you want to achieve. And if it is too late and you've missed out on that opportunity, whilst you've still got breath in your body, there's always something that you can be doing. Okay, so not all hope has gone. So don't get discouraged. Just get active. Get the faith back. I have said all of this to say, trust the process. Trust the process, and that everything is working out for your good. That's all I've come to say. I know I've said a lot more, but that's all I've come to say. Right? So I hope you guys have taken something from this. If you found this video helpful in any way, shape or form, give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe. If you know a friend that may benefit from it, she may be struggling, he may be struggling, may need reminding about there's hope and to trust the process, share it with them. Don't be selfish. Give me some comments. Like, I like to speak. Like, all my friends know that I love to voice note. I love to speak. Like, anytime I've got a story to tell, I always tell it the longest way possible. Not intentionally. It's just what I do, okay? So the more you comment, the more I'm going to give back. So I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. And I love you all. Make sure you do it all, okay? Holla.